Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tsunami Books. Ken Kesey and I were moseying along the sidewalk in downtown Eugene. We came upon a kid sitting in front of a blanket with brownies laid out in a sign. 25 cents. Do those brownies have any P-O-T in them? I asked. He looked up at his dad. What's that? His dad shrugged. Power of transformation, Kesey said. He laid down $1, picked up some brownies, and we walked away, munching. Fast thinking, I told Kesey. Someone had to save your butt, numbnuts. Hey, looky there, I said. A pot pipe lay on the sidewalk, smoke trailing out of the bowl. I reached out and picked it up, and just as I was holding it to my mouth to make a big hit, Kesey's hand grabbed it. The pipe disappeared down his sleeve, and in the same motion, Kesey pulled a $50 out of my ear. On the road, a cop car was slowly passing us, the driver looking out the window. We kept walking, eyes straight ahead, and the car pulled away. Kesey grabbed me and slung me against the side of the Eugene Library. Huh, what'd you do that for? I yelled. Thought it might knock a little learning into you. Ha, fat chance of that. My dad used to whack me in the head with a roll of pennies to knock some sense into me. He should have used quarters, Kesey said. We went into Lucky's Tavern and had a drink. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your pleasure and musical enjoyment, Walker T. Ryan.
Oh, you gotta do your little bit there. Got your little bit.
Live from Tsunami Books, it's Saturday night.
This is one of those like late night things where people are out there, but everybody else is out there, and it's an interesting showbiz dilemma that we've been dealing with the last year. Anyway, hi. It's good to be here. I'm glad Ken invited me. This is the first gig I've done in about 2.5 years. Because I retired, which meant I didn't stop playing, I just stopped booking, you know. And then I laid low for a long time, and then was getting out, playing some open mics, messing around. And then World War COVID hit. get your Bible, fall down on your knees. Pray the Lord ain't gonna do you no good. You gonna need my help someday. If you can't stop your sinning, mama, please quit your low down way. Go up to the White House, stand at the Capitol gate, call for an act of Congress, mama, don't be too late. You gonna need my help someday. Can't stop your sinning, oh please quit your low down way. You can go out on the highway, stick out your thumb, try and catch a ride on. You know you're on your own. You gon' need my help someday. Can't stop your sinning, mama, please quit your low down way. All right. I got a list here and everything. Okay. We're just going to play a bunch of blues and related stuff. I ain't going down that big road by myself. Hear me talking to you, pretty darling. I ain't going down that big road by myself. Can't take you, bound to find somebody else. Tell me, baby, why do you do me? Why do you do me like you do? Oh, tell me, mama, why you do me like you do? I've done all I can just to get along with you. coming down the road. Hear me talking to you, pretty darling. Who's that yonder, baby? All coming down the road. Must have been my baby, oh, but she's walking most too slow. You can take all this money, honey, but you can't take mine. Hear me talking to you, pretty darling. Take all this money, honey, but you can't take mine. I'm going downtown, stay crazy all the time. I ain't going down that big road by myself. Hear me talking to you, pretty darling. Ain't going down that big road by myself. Can't take you, I'm bound to find somebody else. Thank you. Here's the camera. This is going all right. I've been mostly, I've been woodshedding for a year, basically. Yeah, it's been cool. I found I stopped for quite a while and made bad art, and then started playing again. And when COVID hit, I found myself going back to why did I get into this in the first place? Back to 8th grade, 7th grade, 9th grade, when I wasn't thinking about the vast career I was about to have, and what it was that made me stick with this when I couldn't stick with anything. And so it's been a really nice journey that way, going back to a lot of old songs and just playing stuff, In the beginning, you really loved me, but I was so blind, and I could not see. But then when you left me, it was a shame how I cried. You don't miss your water until your well runs dry. I treated you bad, so sad and so blue. I was a fool, and that could not be true. But then when you left me, it was a shame how I cried. You don't miss your water until your well runs dry. sit and wonder, how could this be? How could you ever, oh, ever leave me? But then when you left me, was a shame how I cried. You don't miss your water until your well runs dry. You don't miss your water till your well runs dry. All right, that's a beautiful song. I love that song. Okay, a little blast from the past here. I'm going to do one of mine. I was a little worried this was going to be my hit. It's called Black Velvet Elvis. And yeah, I figured it'd be my hit, and I'd end up opening for like Weird Al Yankovic or somebody the rest of my life, you know. I used to say, what's his name? Ahab the Arab, who's that guy? Who did that? Ray Stevens. Ray Stevens, yeah. But nobody get that now, so. Well, I work the swap meets, you know I'm reasonably priced. Selling black velvet paintings of Elvis and Christ and the red man's last stand, the bullfighter's prize, and those skinny little kids with the great big blue eyes. Oh, you know, I'd never been lucky in love till Ramona arrived in her old pickup truck, selling her tie-dye in the booth next to mine. She was 28, I was booth 29. Oh, black velvet Elvis, $20 for the king. Sold by a man, been shortchanged on dreams. A man who's lonely with nothing to lose. At a fair in Fontana with the black velvet blues. Well, we were both kind of quiet and both kind of shy, which is strange for folks who sell to get by. No one ever thought, 'cause no one ever tried to mix black velvet paintings with deadhead tie-dye. We traveled together the whole summer through. Love on the road, love in the booth. Then one Saturday morning, Pomona State Fair, Ramona was gone, well, her booth, it was bare. Oh, I kept on the circuit, just hoping to see her, looking for tie-dyed paintings of Jerry Garcia. But by late September, I knew one thing for sure. Hell, I'd probably see Elvis before I saw her. Oh, black velvet Elvis, $20 for the king. Sold by a man, been shortchanged on dreams. A man who is lonely with nothing to lose. At a field in Fontana with the black velvet blues. At a drive-in in Fresno with the black velvet blues. driving and drained with the black velvet blues. Thank you very much. I'm going to say, how's everybody doing out there? And then hear a great shout back in my head. You also know this is this is a great time for people who are shy singing in public, because you can sing along with me all you want, yell and scream, and only your cat will be freaked out, you know. Song's called Backwater Blues. Recorded by Bessie Smith. It's about a flood coming to Mississippi. And it's a song that just keeps making sense. 80 years later. But it rained all day, and the sky turned dark as night. Rained all day, and the sky turned dark as night. They've been talking about a storm down in the lowlands tonight. Backwater rising, rising all around. Backwater rising, rising all around. Keeps on rising. We're all gonna have to get to higher ground. They rowed a boat 5 or 6 miles across the farm. They rowed a boat 5, 6 miles across the farm. Jumped into it, turned around, and everything we had was gone. I went and I stood up on some high old lonesome hill. I went and I stood up on some high old lonesome hill. Looking down on the place where my people used to live. And it rained all day and the sky turned dark as night. Rained all day, talking about a storm in the lowlands tonight. Okay, how are we doing on time? Where are we? Good? 8:02. I started at 7:30. Just kind of on schedule. All right. Do a couple more here. And we're going to take a short break because the old man got to go pee. And then Ken's going to get up here and regale you. We haven't done a thing together in a while, and it's great to be back doing this again. Crowd ain't bad either. Oh, bye-bye, pretty baby, bye-bye. Bye-bye, pretty baby, bye-bye. If I never see you no more, bless you everywhere you go. Oh, bye-bye, pretty baby, bye-bye. I'm going to the country, baby, would you like to go? I'm going to the country, baby, would you like to go? If I never see you no more, bless you everywhere you go. Oh, bye-bye, pretty baby, bye-bye. I'm leaving in the morning, but I'll never understand. I'm leaving in the morning, but I'll never understand. Leaving in the morning, baby, but I'll never understand. Why is there always trouble, Lord, between a woman and a man? I say bye-bye, pretty baby, bye-bye. Bye-bye, pretty baby, bye-bye. If I never see you no more, bless you everywhere you go. Oh, bye-bye, pretty baby, bye-bye. Pretty baby, oh, bye-bye. Pretty baby, bye-bye. Okay, so this is sing-along time. Johnny Otis song, Hand Jive. If you know the hand jive, feel free to do it. It's mostly particular to women of a certain age. Well, I know a cat named Way Out Willie. Got a cool little chick named Rockin' Billy. They can rock and stroll and Susie Q. And do that crazy hand jive too. Papa said, Willie, you ruined my home. You and that hand jive got to go. Willie said, Papa, don't you put me down. Doing the hand jive all over town. Hand jive, hand jive, hand jive, doing that crazy hand jive. Willie doctor and a lawyer and the Indian chief, they all dig that crazy beat. Way out Willie gave them all a treat when he did that hand jive with his feet. Hand jive, hand jive, hand jive, doing that crazy hand jive. Millie got married last fall. Had a little Willie Jr. and that ain't all. Little Willie Jr. was something to see. Doing that hand jive on TV. Hand jive, hand jive, hand jive, doing that crazy hand jive. Hand jive, hand jive, hand jive, doing that crazy hand jive. All right, thank you, thank you. Take a short break, and then Ken Babbs is going to be up. If I got it. If I practiced, who practices anymore? Ooh. Yeah, no, it's been a little while on that one. Let me see. Yeah, it's an old folk song that a lot of people did before he showed up. Yeah, that one. Let's see, what are we going to do? Try this key. I got a bird to whistle. Honey, got a bird to sing. I got a bird to whistle. Honey, got a bird to sing. Without Corina, oh, my life don't mean a thing. I learned to love you, baby, before I called your name. Oh, baby, before I called, honey, before I called your name. Corina, be my woman, baby. Let me be your man. Have mercy, have mercy. Oh, baby, on my hard luck soul. Baby, on my hard luck, honey, on my hard luck soul. I got a rainbow around my shoulder, and it shines like silver and gold. I got a bird to whistle, I got a bird to sing. I got a bird to whistle, you know I got a bird to sing. Without Corina, oh, my life don't mean a thing. Without Corina, oh, my life don't mean a thing. All right. Thank you. Y'all take care. Stay safe. Take a little break.
All right, let's have a big hand for Walker. Come on, go crazy out there. Yeah. Get, you know, get up in your pajamas and shake it a little. All right. Everybody's headed for the drink bar at Tsunami for just a brief moment here. Want to thank you very much for watching, and thank everybody who's here. Eileen and Ingrid are both here watching, enjoying the crowd. And Sean Shanahan, I want to give a good hand for Sean Shanahan. Yeah, Lee Jones has been coaching us from over there by Kincaid Street, and you know, small town, big fish. It's been a long year here at Tsunami, a long year for everybody. It's very interesting seeing people come in who've only gone to the grocery store, even now, a year later. You know, people a little edgy. People a little edgy, and we don't know what we're going to be like when this thing's over, but it's changed us all. We got some nice decorated masks in here. You know, that's a part of it. There have been a lot of comments. Please comment. Oh, I'm going to enunciate. Sean is suggesting I take the mask off, but I don't want to share a microphone with anybody. Is it okay? Can we hear? This sounds good enough for me. I have been practicing enunciation, and I would like to encourage all of you when you come into a public place like Tsunami and you want to talk, you know, or ask about a book, you don't come up with your mask and go, hey, you go cover this little thing over there. I'm like, what? And I don't want to get near you at that moment, you know. Practice. Take a couple deep breaths. Practice enunciating with a mask, because we may be doing it off and on, you know, for our pleasure the rest of our lives. Who knows? I would just like to let people know that Tsunami's been doing very well through the COVID. Thank you very much. We have a wonderful crew. People are reading more than ever. Those who are reading are really enjoying the experience of reading for the year. It's been quite remarkable to hear how excited people get when they start talking about books. It's a real pleasure to be here for that. And, of course, we're all reading as well. The street, I want to talk just a moment about the street, because these guys aren't quite done with their bathroom. They're going to start ripping this street up, Willamette, they claim. They're going to finish it this year. They first said, well, it's going to be from March through June. Now they said March through fall, and they hope they get it done by spring. Wild Dish is like, if they don't change the engineering, it's going to be a 7-year project. You know, I shouldn't have mentioned the name of a business. Wild Dish is doing a great job, by the way. They are the contractors, and they love it. There's a few engineering problems that I will use this forum to just suggest, you know, we get those things straightened out. Oh, yeah. It's, we, you know, support your local businesses, those that are left, for sure. And those on Willamette, you know, Capella, Wild Birds Unlimited, El Super Burrito, Viking Braggart, the sushi joint, Glenwood's open again. Hit them all up, you know, and use the side streets, walk, ride your bikes. By the holidays, we'll have new streets. We'll be done with our masks. It will be a very emotional time for all of us, a different kind. And I hope that all of you are poor enough out there to where you're going to get the full 1,400 here next week. And I think we're just going to have a blank space here until the gentlemen come on up.
Don't forget, when I go like this, we hit it.
Right. Thanks for the reminder.
Turn it down a little bit. Somewhere here. second here. Like so.
Groveling at the gate is an acquired art form. Dude, where's your paperwork? The dog ate it. Sorry to say, we put your dog to sleep yesterday. Well, sniff my trousers with your guard dog. It's always good to be in the land of the free. He swiped the rag across his forehead and had a revelation. They got us by the balls and can't keep from squeezing us out of Cuba and Venezuela. Next it will be Mexico. They've got a screw loose. Sometimes it is looser than other times, and this is one of those times. Tear down the wall. Open the gate. Everyone in line. Everyone in. Everyone out. No one waits or stands for a strip search check. Answering questions from here to heck. Globalization, mobilization, heed the call. Life to the fullest, balls to the wall. Color of skin doesn't matter at all. The guardian at the gate is a self-made man, ponderous and one-sided, stiff-necked and bull-headed, his thoughts scattered as a mad woman's manure, a real lame brain. He never smoked a joint, never chugged a beer, never ate an oyster, never broke a sweat, never drilled a hole, never drilled a nail, never hawked a loger, never sniffed a popper, never mooned a copper, never plucked a chicken, and never skinned a bear, never wore a dress. Rebel, rebel, your face is a mess. So what happened to the revolution? Someone asked Kesey. He thought for a minute and then began singing. When you walk the streets, you will have no cares if you walk the lines and not the squares. As you go through life, make this your goal. Watch the donut, not the hole. Hole in the ground, hole in your head. I fell in the hole, and this is what I said. Watch the donut, not the hole. This is where the revolution is at, he said. The thing that sets the people in the know apart is their optimism. They sincerely believe that mercy comes before Jesus, that the carrot is better than the stick, and that love is the only compass you can trust to guide you down the mean main street of money-mad America, where the grass is greener, resting assured. The green is insured against the flying bird dropping a turd on a golfing nerd. Now that's absurd. How can you lose something you never went looking for? Easy, Kesey said. When you don't know where you're going, you all have to stick together. Thank you, Walker T. Ryan, my old pal and buddy. We've done so many gigs together. We even have 2 or 3 other bands we play with, our own bands. And this is a great time to get back together again after all their time of apart. Thank you, Walker.
We faked that pretty good, didn't we?
Don't forget, we're going to do it at the end again, too. In a world where everything is placed neatly on a ledge, on their Harley Davidsons, the angels ride on the edge. In a world where everything is usually black or white, when the angels get off their bikes, you don't know where they're going to play or fight. Ain't nobody loves or likes a Hell's Angel. One of the things that makes them Hell's Angels, you got to be villains in everybody's book. You got to be disliked by the cops and the guy who dislikes the cops. You got to be disliked by the citizenry and the guy who opposes the citizenry. If you're going to be a Hell's Angel, you got to start off by being bad. How are you going to be bad in everybody's book? That's tricky business. And he looked up at me from the hole he was in and smiled. He looked up at me from the hole he was in and said, "You gotta go wild." On a warm, sunny day in August, Ken Kesey was ambling along Grant Street in North Beach when an amplified voice drew his attention to a place called The Place. Kesey went inside and stood at the back. On stage, a lanky, long-haired man in a Hell's Angels jacket spoke in a clear voice. "There's air, land, sea, fish, fowl, and my flesh is meat of the universe. I live a lifetime, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled." The audience applauded. The man left the stage and stood alongside the wall. Kesey walked over and said, "I liked your poem." "Well, it wasn't mine. That was Lawrence Ferlinghetti." "Oh, good choice. Do you write anything yourself?" "Once in a while. Let's go outside and have a smoke." Kesey introduced himself, and the man said his handle was Freewheeling Frank. They talked for a while, and Kesey invited Frank and his friends down to La Honda, his house. Hang out, share some weed, and unwind. Enjoy life in the redwoods. We heard them coming from a long way off. Guttural roar rising and falling as a line of motorcycles snaked around curves. The noise overwhelming loud on the bridge. They geared down and turned around the drive to park their bikes. Engines off, kickstands dropped, boots hit the ground and crunched the gravel as the angels walked toward the porch. "Grab some beers and take a load off," Kesey said. The angels brought Hunter Thompson to the party. We didn't know who he was. He was so messed up he couldn't talk. He was barefoot and skinny, dressed in nothing but a trench coat. We didn't know why he was there or what he was doing or why they were mistreating him so bad. They dragged him around, literally yanking his chain. For Hunter was chained to a Hell's Angel, A dog was chained to Hunter, and a cat was chained to the dog. It was a chain of fools. Ron Boise's sculpture, The Hanging Man, hung from a tree limb. Allen Ginsberg sat beneath the tree and looked across the yard at the pranksters and the angels drinking and yakking. He listened to the music echoing through the redwoods and jotted words in his notebook. Cool, black night through the redwoods. Cars parked outside in shade. The ravine, a fire burning by the side porch, and a few tired souls hunched over in black leather jackets, and 4 police cars parked outside the painted gates, red lights revolving in the trees. We sat and got acquainted with Tiny, Terry the Tramp, Buzzard and Gut, outcasts and outlaws who did whatever they wanted. Kesey asked, "How do you guys pick your members?" Frisco Pete said, "We don't pick them, we recognize them." We played our instruments and the angels broke out harmonicas and we all sang. Remember when we stuck old Nellie in the eye and she went down to the hospital and they stuck something up her ass and next thing you know she was wired from stem to stern. They stayed up all night, took everything in sight, reds, whites, Seconal, bennies, and a new little tranquilizer, light blue as a robin's aid. They drank themselves into oblivion, collapsed on their motor seats, and slept. The next morning, it was all they could do to light a joint and chug a beer. Partying was exhausting work. Inside the house, Gut stared at a hamburger that was nailed to the kitchen wall. John Babbs put it there after the bus trip to Manhattan. The last rat burger, petrified. Gut pried the burger loose, turned it in his hand, sniffed, and took a bite. He chewed with a thoughtful look, spit the bite into the sink, and jammed the hamburger back on the nail. "How was it?" Frisco Pete asked. Gut shrugged. "Stale." The party wound down. The angels gathered their sleeping bags and jackets, kicked beer cans out of the way, and mounted up. The last unmuffled hog rolled over the bridge, and the parade wound around the curves back to the city. We weren't through with the angels. We hooked up with them again when Kesey invited them to join us with the bus at the big anti-war peace rally and the anti-war Vietnam peace rally in Berkeley. This was in 1966. The Hells Angels' avowed goal was to use fists and clubs to stop the peace marchers at the boundary between Berkeley and Oakland before the marchers could stage a protest at the Oakland Induction Center. It was shaping to be a big dust-up, giving the cops a chance to beat on the angels and the peaceniks both. The day before the rally, Kesey and I drove to Oakland to talk to the angels. We listened to the radio on the way, a commentator saying, "The Hells Angels, an illegal society too vast to be controlled by law enforcement agencies, take illicit drugs, swallow pep pills, or inject methadone into their arms. But most will get high by smoking marijuana or gulping the strongest drug of all, LSD." The angels were at the Luau Club, drinking and smoking pot. Kesey told them maybe they could see their way not to be busting heads the next day. Why add to the fray? Save the fight for another day when it wouldn't be the cops holding sway, everyone ending up in jail with busted bones or worse. They got a kick out of hearing that, and right on cue, Allen Ginsberg walked in. His beard, round, soft body, balding head, and tremolo voice had the angels laughing, and pretty soon the talk about whether to fight or not to fight was lost in shoving, grappling, arm wrestlings, and hollering insults at one another. Until late that night, we wandered over to their clubhouse. Alan took off his clothes, sat cross-legged on the floor, tinkled on his finger cymbals, and hummed deep Om sounds as the angels lounged on beat-up sofas and ragged armchairs. Kesey and I slipped out and made our way home. We had to get ready for the peace rally. We painted the bus bloody Martian red, covered it with warlike symbols reminiscent of a Viking warship. We donned surplus fatigues, fortified ourselves with juices and chemicals, and with Cassidy at the wheel, headed for the anti-war rally at Sproul Plaza on the UC Berkeley campus. In the field in front of the Sproul Hall, thousands of protesters had assembled. A pacifist of the first ilk was screaming his tail off. Listen to him scream. Here he goes. A pacifist. You must keep going. You must march. You will go down the street to Oakland. You will not stop. You have a vision. You are right. You are completely in the right, for you are pacifists, and you will fight for that right. The crowd was restive, harangued by the voices screaming over the loudspeakers. We walked through a circle of people jostling and arguing. Men in suits threatened the protesters, pushing and shoving. The protesters pushed and shouted back. Cassidy stopped and pulled out a pack of gum. Dentine, anyone? Stick of dentine? Juicy, sweet. Slams that light-giving delight straight into the old brain. He extended the gum, handing it out to both sides, completely discombobulating everyone. The hot air of strife and hate whooshed into the sky and was gone. We walked on, leaving them wondered, what happened? Kesey was introduced to a great roar. He looked the throng over and shook his head. What are we doing here? A beautiful sunny day, having a Mussolini-like rally? Forget it. Go home and enjoy yourselves. Look at the whole war thing and say, fuck it. At the fringe of the crowd, people started drifting away. Kesey turned his back and started playing Home on the Range on his harmonica. Talk to them, Babbs, he said out of the corner of his mouth. See those guys with the shiny shoes and colored pins on their lapels, I said? They are agent provocateurs. Don't let them suck you into a fight. Below me, men in suits pulled the pins out of their lapels and threw them on the ground. I took a chattering teeth toy out of my pocket and held it up to the microphone. The irritating noise of the chatter grated through the crowd. I tied the toy to the microphone with a piece of string, and Kesey and I left the stage and headed for the bus, the teeth chattering behind us. Someone yanked it off the microphone. President Johnson had said, if the motorcycle riders came to the rally, they'd all join in. Not just the angels, but the rattlers and the gypsy jokers, the whole motley pack, and it would have come loose at the end. But after all the preparations on the part of the authorities, the Hells Angels didn't show up. The protesters were bunching up to march into Oakland. We drove the bus to Lua Club, parked and went inside. The Angels sat around down on reds and getting drunk. Terry the Tramp slouched in a chair. What's the haps, Kesey said. Chilling, Terry said. So, you're not making a stand at the Berkeley-Oakland border after all? Nah, we said to hell with it. Lost our edge last night after watching that naked little Jew sitting there clinging his tiny cymbals and chanting. Wore us down to sleepy nubs. We hit the bar for drinks and settled in. Figured we owed them that much, and it turned into the goddamnedest party in the world in the back of the blackest hole you've ever seen. The biker club band, dribbling pee in the peckerwoods, cranked up their instruments and mangled a song at ear-splitting volume. If you're going to live in a dim room, you're going to have to learn to howl. If you're going to live out in the midnight hour, you're going to have to learn to see it like an owl. If you're going to live out in the woods, you got to learn to howl. If you burrow beneath the ground in a deep, dark hole, going to have to learn to get around. Let it all hang down. Sonny Barger, the chapter president, wrote a letter to President Johnson offering the Angels to serve as guerrillas in the Vietnam War. Only he spelled it gorillas. The Angels considered themselves true patriots. Thank you. Crazy shit. We love it. I know. It's what's happening. The beautiful thing about the COVID is it allows your imagination to run wild. And you realize nobody in their wildest LSD high or their dreams or anything could imagine the reality that's happening all around us. It's fascinating and awful and wonderful at the same time. Okay, so the moral of the story is dig your life as much as you can and enjoy it and make the best of the worst. As they say when they're shoving a hot poker up your ass. Oh, that tickles! Okay, Walker?
Still on, okay. Mask off. This is a little tale, actually, we're going to tell, if we don't screw it up. This is a microcosmic reinterpretation of how Ken and I met.
You're going to do that?
I'm going to do this little blurb, which has nothing to do with anything, and then we'll start the song.
Okay.
1992, Kesey's Farm, doing auditions for the Dead show that was supposed to happen at the out at the fairgrounds, at the country fairgrounds. And I went with some friends and was set up to play and got up on the truck bed and everything and started in my sincere folk style. I'll cue you. I went down to old Joe's barroom on the corner by the square. They were serving up the drinks as usual, and the usual crowd was there. Let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. It's such this wide world over, won't never find a man like. Why, you must be Ken Babbs.
I went down to Eugene City Center. I saw Ken Kesey there. He was standing on the corner, so suave, so hip, so square. He's wearing his yellow Stetson, his black vest and his red cravat. He was talking to a bunch of students, letting them know right where it's at. I could hear his voice quite clearly, so positive and clear. He pulled a silver dollar out of a student's ear. And this is what he told him. Tell your teacher my mind ain't fried. Boiled maybe, but never fried. I've proved myself once. I've proved myself twice. And now I ask myself, what else do I have to prove? The answer is nothing. He looked each one in the eye and shook their hands most firmly. Then, flashing his pure white pearlies, he waved and said goodbye. They heard him. When I die, I want you to bury me in my yellow Stetson and my red cravat. Tie a silver dollar to my watch chain, so the boys will know I died standing pat. Let him go, God bless him, wherever he may be. You can search the whole world over and never find a better man than he. Thank you, Walker. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, kid.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
And thank
Sean,
you all out
everybody.
there in the world. It's great to be out here with you again, once again.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good coming out party, huh?